All right, how we doing out there for a change? First, my name's Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC. Gunmetal Crystal Edge Imperial Technology Screens. Well, it's Crystal Edge Technology Screens, but we sell the Imperial technology. Also, the new company come along soon. We're working on all that paperwork. Will be our FLE VT. Well, I said VT instead of saying VP. So this is just a little bit of a history, just walk through the park. How long have we been around in black technology? Quite a long time. As a matter of fact, we were developing it before anybody else was developing it. This is going to be very important because as time goes on, you're going to see more and more black screens pop up, and people are going to be claiming that they're the first. Nope, we're time stamped. We can go back and show you tons of videos, including beta testers attached to a company under Digital 4K Crystal Onyx. Tons of testing showing that we had it first before anyone else. Now, this is why I explained to, and I hate to bring these two up, Rogers and Solid Wake 5, when you make statements that I don't know what I'm talking about, I was here long before you guys ever existed. These videos are from 8 years ago. You didn't know that. If you did research on me, you would have realized that I've been around for a long time. So if anyone would know about black technology, it would be me. Because again, we were developing it when no one else had it. We were the first to have it, the first to have it. So what you're seeing right there is a container under Digital Onyx, or actually Digital 4K Crystal Onyx, True Black Screen Paint. That is one of the first ones we developed right there. Let's go look at our date, see how long this goes back. So if you look at my timestamp here, I am around 8 years ago. So when you try to explain to me, a person who's a beyond and veteran in this field of black technology and ambient projection, you see how well lit my little room is? My little room is well lit than some people on YouTube right now that are showing up demonstrations on expensive projectors in dark environments, and we're in this well-lit environment. Again, as I said before, my experience goes back. You want to go back into gray screen paints? We'll do that tomorrow. I can go back to my history of gray screen paints, show you demonstrations that literally have been copied and remimicked again to try to think that they're us at the end of the day. At the end of the day, gentlemen, I was here first. So when it comes to black technology, we were here first. Trying to explain to me at the end of the day how black technology works is hilarious. It's like the equivalence of trying to have a Dixie cup riddled with pencil holes to contain water. It's pointless. There's no way in the world on God's green earth, and keep in mind this is where my technology came from, that you basically are on the skill level that I'm at. That's why your product failed. That's why your product didn't work. This is why when I watched the demonstrations, I watched the screen turn gray multiple times. It didn't work due to the fact it was not properly tested. It takes years of testing to develop black technology. You can't do it overnight. And that's what we saw with Danny Rogers' product. We saw a product, the Series C, try to do something overnight, and it failed miserably. Multiple times I've seen that screen turn gray over and over again. And again, if you can't back the product up, anyone can go to my site and order. I don't cancel orders. Anybody can go cancel. Can go buy from us. Anybody. I don't have time to be going through to figure out who ordered and canceled and curse them out and mess. We don't do that stuff. People do that stuff when they can't back a product. That's what they do. They scramble to get to the order as fast as possible so they can cancel it as fast as possible, but they can't do it. They just can't. We don't do that. We don't cancel orders. But anyway, and then to go as far, and they're still laughing about this on the forum sites. They are laughing about this. Removed an entire state of Pennsylvania. You know, Pennsylvania actually runs in several different sectors, right? So you literally alienated the entire state of Pennsylvania because you were so afraid of our products, of us testing your product against a real screen paint, that you removed the entire state of Pennsylvania. They are having a ball with that. They're laughing it up over there over that. Man, you talk about having, and this is a guy who talked a lot of trash. He talked a lot of trash. He referred to himself as a king. Talked a lot of trash. We didn't even launch a Spartan. He was so terrified of our products. We never got a chance to launch the Spartan. He was terrified of it. We got a bunch of excuses. I told you from the door, look, the minute that we got the excuse that he was on vacation and he couldn't open the shopping carts, come on. It's an online business. I made money when I was in Disneyland. So there's no way in the world I'm going to shut my shopping carts down to go on vacation. I can run. That's the luxury of having websites. You can run it while you're on vacation. You take care of it when you come back. How many of us purchase off of eBay and you get a little message that pops up that says that the merchant's on vacation? You can place the order. He'll get back when it comes back. If you want it bad enough, guess what? You're going to make sure you get it. So there's no excuse behind that. So we saw this coming because, again, it's a history of them doing this. Once we receive those first cancel orders, we already know from the door. That's it. There is nothing else after that. Everything else is just basically just for humor, kicks and giggles. That's what it is. We knew you couldn't back the product up 100%. If you could, we would have had the product when we first placed the order. We would have never had to go through $700 worth of canceled orders and the removal of a store, an online store with a 404 error code. We'd have never received that. Who goes through that to keep our product coming down? And that's what hurts you the most. It's bad enough that your product didn't work, but what hurts you the most was the fact that people watching you cancel out and back down against a company that you talked a lot of trash about. Didn't go well. But again, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I told you at the end of the year, when the FLE has not, we're not in the year, but we're going to have it before then, we want to start challenging a lot of these certified companies. Companies that are claiming to be able to pull an Infinity 1 contrast level. Technically, you don't have the right to do that. You can't say that because your screen is gunmetal. Heck, we got gunmetal technology coming up. We can't say that stuff as an Infinity 1. That's virtually impossible. That's not true. It has a darker shade of gray. That's what it has, but it doesn't have an Infinity 1 black attached to it. Only black screens have that. So when you have a series of black screens coming out on the market, and they're going to argue that complaint too. They're going to sit there and argue before court also. How are you calling yourself an Infinity 1 when we have that technology? See, there you go. So this is some of the beginning starts of the technology. And mind you, we had, in this time, a black screen was unheard of. You had gray screens, you had some gunmetal out there, not as much as it is now, but most of it was just gray. Now you see how much light's in the environment for the small little room I'm working in? More light in this environment than you see most people with gray paint. So you're not in environments like this. I think at this, there's the darker grays right there we're working on. Get this turned down. Now I can always go back to my past products and look at where our technology has advanced. Our heightener levels are white levels are way beyond this now, way beyond this. But it's nice to me to go back to the past and check out exactly what you have achieved. People who make these products, I've been to your website. Remember, I've been to your websites. I've been to your YouTube channels. I've done the research on y'all. We can't go back and find anything because you don't have any tests. There's no test there. That's why when I go to your channel and I type in things, nothing comes up because you haven't done anything. What you've done was you made quick, fast products. You made products where you push them under high-end projectors, dark environments. That's what you did. That's why there's nothing there. Now, this particular point, to get a black screen, to be able to see color and contrast and white levels, this was unheard of. You know how much money this product went for at this particular time? This stuff was so rare to get. This stuff was going at one point at $900 a quart. And yes, they were paying it. They were paying it. I mean, I didn't think I was going to get that much for it. And I remember sitting in a restaurant with my ex, and I remember seeing my PayPal account going off. And I'm like, what the freak is going on in there? And sure enough, people were hitting it up at $900 a quart. Technology we have now is way beyond that. Way, way beyond that. A technology that you have today, if you can show proof, and you have to show proof of this, you can't just say, oh, we've got a technology that can absorb sunlight. You have to show proof of that. Everyone that we've shown that clip to that screen absorbing that sunlight automatically want to come on as an investor. That's a multi-million-dollar technology sitting right there on that little sheet of glass that, mind you, I was going to throw in the trash because I didn't think it was worth anything. I figured, yeah, we got tons and tons of product we don't need. This is just one more thing I don't have to work on. And I was going to literally throw it in the trash. Didn't realize what I had in my hand at the time. I didn't even understand what FLE was at the time. But anyway, so if you have a screen that can absorb sunlight, that screen is worth a lot of money. Convert that screen into a physical screen. That's what we're going to do, convert it to a physical screen. You're talking about a $60,000 projection screen very easily. Very, very easily. Name a screen right now that can absorb sunlight like the FLE did. There isn't any. I put a challenge on that. Put a link at the bottom. Anyone that can find one of them, you can get one of those Spartans. And Spartans are going to be rare screens. They're very hard to get. I'll give you one for free. Find one. And there isn't, because I do my research. But getting back to this technology right here, to be able to see a black screen, I've been developing gray screens for a very long time. Then we went into gunmetal with the D4K, D5K, D6K products. To finally get a screen to be able to produce. Do you have any idea how many man hours that I had to push in order to actually get to this plateau? That's why I said, when I see products today and I look at them, y'all haven't put the work in. Y'all have not put the work in. That technology 8 years ago is doing things that gray screens can't even do now. So this was one of the, how many of these we have? Well, you go into my my site and you put in digital 4K crystal onyx on my YouTube channel and see what comes up. There were tons of demonstrations done on the black technology. On so many levels, it's not even funny. I can even type in beta testers that were popping up on this product. Dragon Ball Z. My projector wasn't a 4K. My projector wasn't even 1080p. My projector was a 2000 lumen NEC projector. That's what I was using. We've always started from the basics when it comes to our machines, always. Because I figured at that time, if I can get an old projector like that to produce an image, imagine what we can do on a high-end projector. On top of that, this basically helps out the consumer, because if a consumer watches a screen being used on a $50,000 projector, they're going to be like, wow, I mean, to get that image, I got to spend that kind of money at the end of the day, because there is a difference, especially when you're talking about gray screen, white screen, there's a difference. Our black technology is a little different. We can actually put 4K against 1080p or 720p against 1080p, and you won't see any difference at all, period. We've done the demonstrations, they're right there. We back up everything we say. So, curious. This is one thing that's going to be coming up in court soon against the lawsuit for slander in our company. A $10 million lawsuit we filed against Jamie Fernando Gonzalez is the fact that he made statements that our products were coming out so dark you couldn't watch them. Where were you at this time? We first started engineering this product. You were nowhere to be found, right? Yeah, of course you were nowhere to be found at all. You didn't exist. That's why. But yep, that whole sending him the what do you call it, the what's the letter we sent to him? Oh, we sent the certified letter requesting black paint. That was designed basically so he can back up his claim, but he couldn't back the claim up because we never got the paint. But also too, it pretty much destroys any defense that he has. There's no point in getting an attorney, or no point even showing up, to tell you the truth. But yeah, we filed a $10 million lawsuit against him. So where were you guys at? Because this is where we were at developing black technology. This shows how far behind the entire industry is. Certified was still developing gunmetal technology. Gray screens were still making gray screen paint products. We were making black tech. So we were 8 years ahead of everybody else. So when we hit this plateau we're at now, this is why our technology is dominating. This is why our technology is better than everybody else's. It'll take them years to catch up to us. By the time we get done ushering about another 2 or 3 years into this technology, we'll be so far ahead there's nobody be able to reach us. That was the whole idea of it all. Become unreachable. Why do you think the container sisters and says unstoppable? Is the reason why our technology goes back 8 years. When everybody else was working on gray screens, when gunmetal screens were working on gunmetal screens, we were working on black tech. Because I saw something in the diamond technology was the fact that they can generate a level that gorgeous of a screen that dark gray as that. Imagine what a black screen would do. This is another demonstration onyx technology right here. This is where you're just painting all kinds of stuff. This is a vinyl surface. So people are asking us, can you paint a vinyl surface? You can paint a vinyl surface. You see how gritty my wall is right there? No sanding, nothing at all. Here, just paint right over top of it. It all blends in because it's black. Yeah. So not only can we show we've been here before everybody else when it came to the black tech, but on top of that, we can also show at the end of the day that while everybody else was still slacking or sleeping, we were developing black technology. So this is why I tell you today, I'm not, people are going to say, oh, but you're, no, it's not. It's the truth. It's not bragging if it's the truth. Y'all can't touch us. Name a screen that can take my technology. I had a screen flown in from Ireland. It can't touch our tech. Name one screen right now, today, that we have. I've done all the research. There isn't any. Because 8 years ago, they should have been developing black technology. They really should have been, but they weren't. A lot of the forum sites took it as a joke. They thought it would never last. They sat there and said, even AVS Forum sat there and said from the door that, yeah, that's not going to last, so and so and so. And now look. I could go into AVS forums and I could wipe out every forum site that they have in there on anything that they have versus our technology. We can go in there, we can talk with the best of them. Most of the time, we're mostly in the TV section. That's pretty much where we're at because that's the only place we could be at. Can't be in there with gray screens, can't be in there with gunmetal screens, can't be with any of them screens. And I'm looking right now for someone posting. The only ones we see on the infinity contrast level are the OLEDs. That's the only ones we see people talking about that. And there's no other screens talking about it. We can go in there. So that right there is our technology. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, more. There we go. On vinyl, yeah, we tested every surface. Vinyl, we had to roll it up and we had to make sure it didn't crack and make sure it didn't peel, all that other good stuff right there. That's the dark onyx right there. Let's go over and let's get, let's see. I always spelled that wrong. Beta testers. These are our beta testers. These are people that were testing. I make sure I got that space. There we go, beta testers. We had a fellow by the name of, oh man, I can't, Manic Creed. Is it Manic Creed? Manic Creed. He did a lot of testing for our company. Visible technology. Because some people say, oh, and we've had visible technology 7 years ago. You see how they mimic our demonstrations? That's what they're supposed to do. If we're in fully lit environments, they have to be in fully lit environments. So the Onyx has been out, the Onyx technology, and people we had testing that product have been out for quite some time. Now, the reason why, there's a few reasons why the onyx was developed, and there was a reason why, because there was a conflict of a contract that went off, which I explained to you before, that we signed a contract, this company overseas, and the company tried to take my company from me because they thought in the day that the Digital One Crystal Screen Paint was the only product that we had, and they could take it from me. Sadly mistaken. I literally give everyone, I don't do contracts anymore, but I literally give everyone the same speech, the same exact speech. And they laughed about it. They couldn't figure out exactly. It was just me mumbling, or maybe I was tired. Maybe that was it. But I sat there and said, why do you fight for the crumbs below when you have a full course meal above you? And they laughed about it. There's a meaning behind that. It means at the end of the day that we can actually drop our technology at will and develop anything we want. Never ever think at the end of the day that we're just stuck on one technology. We can evolve to anything we want. And that's the mistake they made. And I sat there and said it crystal clear at the table. And I looked at all of them when they sat there and said it. Now, that was an interesting day, because I have never met these people. These people contacted me out of nowhere. I am in this little tiny rented room, and these people contact me, and they said, "Hey, we're interested in your product." Now I get this all the time. I'm thinking, yeah, okay, whatever, I'm not paying any mind. The guy was like, no, we're dead serious. We're going to come down there. If you're 100% legit about this product, once we hit the switch, it's on. I'm not paying any mind. They contact me again the next day, and the next day, and the next day. These guys mean business. So I go back and tell my brother, look, I got these guys contacting me. They mean business. They want a global contract with the company. This is fantastic. But their intentions was to take the product from me. It was not to basically work with me. You gotta be careful about this kind of stuff. But being fast and signing contracts. That was my first major contract I signed. So then after that, they had contacted me a few more times and said, "Hey, we're coming down to the States." They were actually overseas. So I said, "Okay, I got to pick a place we're going to meet at." I'm thinking best place to pick is in my neighborhood because again, I'm around all my people. I don't know who these people are at the end of the day. I have no idea what I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? So we have this right over at Subway on Girard Avenue. Now, there's about 14, 15 vehicles out there. That's my people at the end of the day. They're out there chilling. They don't know who they are. They're not walking or talking to me. They're just sitting there, just chilling, just watching, just to make sure that nothing goes off. There's no funny business. They come up, nice, beautiful cars. They come in. I sit down with my back against the wall because, again, that's where I was taught. Always sit with your back against the wall. You can see everything in the environment. And that's where I sat there. They sat down, and I'm looking at them and looking at the window at the same time. And I'm watching my family pass back and forth through the window. And a few of them were actually sitting in the restaurant. So there were about a good amount of people out there that was connected to me. So as I'm sitting there and I'm having this conversation, I started to relax a little bit. I realized this is a real deal. This is actually a contract. This is not somebody trying to take it from me or trying to hurt me in the process of trying to take it from me. So then after we talk a little bit on the table, before we start the meeting, I give them the speech. And they laugh about it. They found it kind of funny. And I said, okay, we just move on from there, you know. And we went on and they pulled out this huge, massive contract. This thing was huge, like a 20, 30 page contract. I'm like, jeepers, I got to read through all this. I hate reading through contracts, I really do. And the guy says, this is what we're going to do. Okay, we want a 10-year global contract. We want to sell this in schools and stuff like that. We can see this stuff is going to work fantastic for what we're trying to do. My great paints were all the rage at the time. And they give me $3,700. They say, here you go. We only need $700 worth of this. The rest is yours. So it's like $3,000 right there on the spot. That's the most money I've seen when I was selling great screen paint products at the time. So when they all left, we all shook hands and they drove off. And I was like, yo! And that's when we all the parking lot and everything came to life. All that was my people. We came over. We started laughing and joking. I said, yo, I got a freaking contract. It's legit. It's real. And let's go out and chill. Let's go do something. So we went on and got some food. So later on, they contacted me again. They dropped another $3,700 right there in my banking account. Said, okay, we need more paint. And they kept dropping more money and dropping more money into the accounts. I'm thinking, man, this is it, man. We got a product. We're already on our way out. Now, this is why I learned things about shipping large amounts of paint overseas. Customs. You have to so much paperwork. It is not even freaking funny how much paperwork you have to have before you can ship 80 gallons, 30 gallons, 50 gallons, even 20 gallons of chemicals across a border. You need a ton of paperwork. And this is what I found out about all this paperwork and things that need to be done to ship items back and forth. This is why we won't do contracts with screen paints, because it's a headache. It's a literally headache to ship chemicals back and forth. So it's better to ship physical screens, I'm not going to do contracts anyway. So long story short, they try to take my company from me. They bit by bit was phasing me out. I got very little information on anything. Like, it was really hard to contact them. They were having all kinds of expos and shows and meetings, and we weren't even invited to any of this stuff. We just found out at the last minute what was going down or what was happening. So I sat there and said, "Well, that's it. I'm done. We're gonna engineer something else, and we're gonna basically destroy the other company." So I sent them a message. I said, "Remember that speech I told you at the table?" I said, "You're going to truly understand what I was talking about." And that's what I did. I developed first one was, well, we were already dabbling with the D4K and D5K technology, what they were supposed to get. But we started engineering the black technology. And we sent them a video of a beta tester testing the black technology versus the gray. And completely massacred it, destroyed it. That's when it clicked in. That's when they realized that we had the ability to destroy our own products and rebuild. And that's what happened. We actually launched so many of the Onyx beta test demonstrations that their investors pulled out because they wanted the new technology. We were flooding their websites, we were flooding their social media pages with the new technology, and people didn't want the gray anymore. They wanted the black technology. That's what they wanted. But we refused to give it to them. And they did take me to court, and they lost. Because I was smart enough, thank God, to sign my company's name and not my actual name. I signed Digital One Crystal Screen Paint, which means they only had on the contract with Digital One, not with Kenneth Bird. So that's why they had no access to none of the other technology, because they don't have access to me. So that's what happened with that, and they lost in court. And that means they got stuck with a buttload of great products that they can't even use, that became obsolete, that nobody wants, and they lost their shirts over it. Now, for some people at the end of the day, you'll sit there and say, "Oh, no, there's no scamming involved. Product worked perfectly fine. They came down, they tested it, they liked it, and they gave us more money." They try to rip me off. This is what happens to any company. If you're going to try to rip me off, if you think at the end of the day that you have my product 100%, I can drop that product, design something 10 times better, and crush my own product. I've done it. I do it all the time. I make new technology constantly all the time. So with that being said, our technology can never, ever, well, it can't be duplicated and taken anyway from the door, because our technology all comes from God. But we have the ability to obsolete anything we want and re-engineer. I got technology in my head right now that's far more advanced than FLE right now in my head. It's an Omega. It's already in my head to make it. I have stuff more advanced than Omega. And I've sat there and said this on camera. You watch me build a website in 2 weeks. I sat there at the other place, built that website in 2 weeks, engineered all new technology underneath of it. Everything's tested. Everything has beta testing, just like that. So yeah, we have that ability to obsolete anytime we want and design something completely different. I already have future technology already set up. That's why I find it interesting when we get the haters on us, and the haters are bitter and upset. You're bitter and upset about something that you can see. Worry about what you can't see. That's what you need to worry about. There's stuff that I don't even mention on camera that people don't even know that we even make. We have an invisible version of the dedicated Cinemax. It's an invisible version of that technology. Nobody knew about it because we never said anything about it. Only people know about it are companies. They know about that technology because it's catered to them. Got a whole lot of stuff that we make. It's like a secret menu. So we have that capability. But as for this technology right here, yeah, this technology we have here, the Onyx. This technology has been around 8 years ago. There's a beta tester right there. That's his name. Digital 4K Onyx, true outstanding. That's the website that used to exist. These are the first stages of black technology. This is when YouTube used to let you do slideshows. Can't do slideshows anymore. Well, yeah, you can do them. You have to do them way differently. I figured out how to do the slideshows. we have the bottom right there. We had a contract under a company, beta tester, right there. We had a couple of them. Monocrete. There's one called Monocrete too. There's another called Monocrete. He had a thing for like he likes Superman. Yep. A lot of testing. So yeah, they lost everything. They were mad too. They were ticked off. Boy, they ranted like crazy on us. They ranted like crazy. But look, I gave you the option. The option was, the bottom line is that you should have never tried to stab me in the back. Tried to take something from me. At one point, they had contacted us and told us they wanted us to remove our websites because they designed their own websites and they didn't want people finding our websites and it'd be a confliction. So you have this confliction of sites, which means if you're selling it for cheaper and they're trying to sell it for more, they may accidentally find your site and buy it directly through you. But within the contract, we couldn't basically sell to anybody. We only can just manufacture for them. That's all. So again, you know, it became a conflict back and forth. I said, well, look, you're going to have to pay us enough money to upkeep my livelihood, because I can't have it where I'm dropping my sites and you guys are basically pulling in these orders and you're not contacting us. You're not reaching out to us. And that's where the problem came in. So it's okay. We want to play that game. No problem. You're done. I said, at the end of that, I said, you're terminated. And they said, oh, you're dropping the contract. I said, no, I'm terminating your product. Then you're going to drop the contract. And that's what happened. So they lost, and that was the end of it. I learned a valuable lesson. You know, they contacted me years back. Years later, they did contact me under, when I was living on Havington Street. I was contacted by one of them about basically wanting to discuss, you've lost your freaking mind. There's no way in the world. But if they had basically honored the contract and they did exactly as they were supposed to do instead of rip us off, they would have the technology we have now. This is why you don't do dumb stuff. Yep. That's why you don't do dumb stuff. And that's the problem we had with that. So yeah, our black technology's been around quite some time. 8 years back, we've been around for a long time. I had to get rid of my first video. That's one of the ones when we had the breakthrough. Oof. Let me see what we have right here. I gotta be up today at the post office and drop off packages today, as always. Yeah, y'all should have been, when we're developing black technology, they really should have been working on it. They really have been. At least they want to be 8 years behind. I always have to go back and read my descriptions on stuff. Man, it's just interesting to go back 8 years and see your black technology and then compare it to what you have now. Way beyond this. That's why I said with the screen paints I see now today, nothing's changed. Not a thing. It's just you'll have the same old stuff. And nothing has changed. Same great products. Nothing has changed at all. Not a thing. We've evolved from grays to gunmetal technology, to invisible technology, and to black technology. Even hologram. We even had hologram technology. Crystal onyx. Crystal onyx. D4K crystal onyx. 300 lumens. Look at this. Test on a black screen at 300 lumens. 9 years ago. Someone made a statement. What did they make a statement? They said we have to be required to use 4,000, 5,000 lumen projectors in order to get our screens to work. I'm definitely challenging you on that in court. I'm not joking with that either. I'm definitely filing a lawsuit against Silent Wake 5 for making that statement on YouTube. I'm going to sue you for that one because, again, you can't make statements out of your mouth that are not true. Do you not crack books at the end of the day? You not research my company and the stuff that I do? I got demonstrations dating back on black technology from 9 years ago. We got a 50 lumen projector hitting a table over here. Really don't learn it's not the same. But then again, like I said, it's going to cost them. It's going to cost them. And my lawyers are already on it. It's going to cost them. Don't make statements that you can't back up. If I say your stuff is gray house paint, at the end of the day, it is gray house paint because y'all did the work for me already. I literally didn't have to do too much on that one. Just do a couple of demonstrations versus gray paint. And literally, the person did it himself. So, case closed. Really ain't got to really. You guys know there's nothing to argue about that one. But yeah, making that statement, yeah, it's gonna cost you. I'm gonna see you for 250 grand. Can't make statements like that. This is right here. Wait, the 300. Go back to the 300. 300. Wow, this was digital for Chris coming 04/27/15. Jeez. Look at that. I timestamp everything, man. I keep a record of everything. 300 numbers. Man. I love this, man. The fact that I can go back in my archives and dig up the old stuff. 300. I wonder if that was the Cumi. Oh man, I wish I could find another one. That's a good projector too. That was a really, really good projector. Let me see. I bought it from my buddy June. Where's the one for the 300 lumens? I don't look at that. So I want to see if that was the Cumi. The Cumi's a good projector. That's another projector our technology would support. Hands down, a Cumi. If I can figure out exactly where I just saw it at. That's a movie test. All right, that's D4K. That's the gunmetal technology. I know that for a fact. Yeah, that's a D4K. Let me bring this down a little bit. So D4Ks are gunmetal. This is the time we were actually testing against diamond technology. These are D4Ks. They're gunmetal. See how dark that screen is? This is when we're working on gunmetal technology. Because again, looking at that diamond technology and how dark that screen was, definitely fascinated by it. Yeah, that's the Cumi. That's the Cumi projector, mini projector. So yeah, when I sit there and say that our technology can run on those little projectors, yeah, because we were doing those tests like 9 years ago. I got to figure out where to get this projector from. That was a good one. I'm gonna add that one to the list. I hope they still make them. I'm gonna buy one. Let me see. Cumi. They spelled it. I know it's a Q. That goes a little bit. QU. QU. MI. Pico. Projector. Make sure I got that right. Give me a minute here. Let me track this projector now. Actually, one of the ones that actually did work. Another one that worked on the screen. We got to update our projector list. Definitely gonna be getting another one of these. This is a fantastic. There's a battery pack in it too. I wonder if they still make them. Cumi projectors. Oh, they still make them. Oh man, these suckers went up. These are not cheap. Let me see. Vivitech, we tested Vivitech already. Let me see. All right, someone's got one. This is 60 hours. This is lead. This is $189. That's not bad for that price. That's still under the $500 mark. Yep, I got it right there, under the $500 mark. All right, cool. Made a bunch of them on here. But as long as it's under the $500 mark, I am not paying for any projectors over $500. I'm not doing that. That's perfect. That's the exact same projector we used in our demonstration. These things are fantastic. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I'm not feeling that. No magnifier. Where's the magnifiers working? There we go. See that right there? Not a good sign. That's a bad sign. I told you, chassis on projectors are pretty sturdy. If you can crack a chassis on a projector, that means something really heavy landed on it. And chances are, if it can cause I hope that's a scratch and that's not a crack. If that's a crack, that means chances are you got all kinds of damage that could be triggering off in this bad boy later on. These are fantastic projectors. Somebody got one over here. We got another one over here. Someone got a red one. I never had a red one before. Oh, this is a more update version for $200. Ah, look. Nice job. Clean. Look at that. Clean. Very nice job. Clean. I ain't worried. Yeah, that's the original company. Yeah, clean. Look at that. You ever heard of these before? Yeah, these projectors are sick. I like these. I'm gonna get one of these. We're gonna test this on our technology. It should work with no problem. Because if it worked on the older stuff, the newer stuff, it should be able to work with no problem. These projectors are fantastic. They're tiny. They're small. Look at this, man. This is, man, for me, this is shopping. Projectors, this is cakewalk for our technology. Oh, we could run all this stuff. Except for that one right there. We're not running this right there because I don't know what the heck that is. But the rest of the stuff we can run. We don't pay any money for no projectors. Our technology runs everything. Well, not the unnamed brand. Wow, this is better than the one I have over here. This one has, let me see. This one has, let me blow this up for you a little bit. Bring this over a little bit so you can see it, because you can't see jack where I have it at. This one is 1280 by 720, and the projector I'm using in my demonstration on my table is 854 by 480. So our projector is actually way lower than this right here. Resolution is way lower. Mine's 50 lumens anyway. Mine has a 1100 to 1000 to 1 contrast. This has 3500 to 1 contrast. It's 500 lumens. Yeah, this thing would definitely work on our technology. We're running at 50 lumens right now on our setup over here. Yeah. I had somebody come in and say, well, your screen's not big enough. Please. Come on, seriously, this is why when people understand, when y'all come to my channel and y'all make statements, this is why I block y'all. This is the reason why you get blocked and removed off the channel. I'm not wasting any more time. I'm done. We got things to do. We've done enough demonstrations to show you why. I did this little tiny setup here at the table. It doesn't make a difference if I'm basically got a 5-inch screen. If a gray screen is not going to read color, I don't care. If you put it up 5 inches, if you put it up 1 inch, if you put it up 250 inches, 180, whatever, I don't care. It won't read it. Whatever projector you get, it's not going to read it. It's just not. It's just not going to work. I've done all those demonstrations. It's just not going to work. So the perfect setup we have here is the Pico projector. It's a 50 lumen projector. It's, well, not 720p. I got to figure out what this thing is for this resolution is right here. But anyway, it's not 720p. We know that. 1001 contrast. That's it. And with this being a tabletop screen, well, there's no light that can hide from it because it's right on top of the table. I can literally sit here and read stuff and look at the screen at the same time. So it's not being blocked. There's no dark environments whatsoever. So if we couldn't get a 5,000 lumen projector at 3 to 4 feet on top of a screen on a gray and white screen, there is no way in the world that this is going to work. So it is what it is. It just doesn't work at all, period. But this projector right here, whoo, this is way better than the one I got over here. Way, way better. So there's a Vivitech QME Q5 HD. They're all DOP and LEDs. These things don't have no lamps at all. You would never replace a lamp on this thing. Is lampless. It has no lamp on it. Wow. I got a bunch of them up here. Now my range is under 500. I can't go over 500 for my projectors. So in here I can get any one of these. This is 295. That's worth it. They got one over here for 200. Over here. Oh, he got the bag and everything with it. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, these are run. Now, the projector I'm using over here is not name brand either. It's called a Magsonic or whatever it's called. But yeah, it runs perfectly. We use them all the time for testing. Let me bring it down a little bit here. There we go. We use them all the time for testing. So these are the very rare projectors that will run on our stuff with no problem. I'm definitely going to get me one of these. It's just 500. It's 500 lumens. How many lumens we got on this baby? Where's our specifications on this? This has 10,000 to 1 contrast. Really? That's interesting. I mean, we don't need the contrast. I'm just finding it kind of impressive that it has a 10,000 to 1 contrast on it. It's a small. These projectors are small. They fit in your hand. 1080p. I knew they made 1080p versions of this projector. Wireless stream projector. Okay, cool. Integrated wireless system. Right there. 600 lumens. Oh, that's a breeze. We do 50. That's a breeze. That's why I said that when you make screen paint products, and you put that comfortable 2000 lumens, we see it a lot, where they put the comfortable 2000 lumen projector on it, because that's so that either way, with the lights on or off, you can somewhat pick up a somewhat decent image. That's why they put that 2000 lumen minimum on it. Bad idea. Because now you have eliminated yourself for these kind of projectors, which are absolutely fantastic. These portable projectors are freaking a beast. I love them. Look at that small size of this thing. This thing fits in the palm of my hand. I can take it anywhere I want. And with the FLE portable screens we got coming up for these projectors, you can set up anywhere you want. You can be in the park, you can be at a friend's house, anywhere you want. You got a whole movie theater in your bag right there. That's what's so cool about it. You know what I mean? But when you do that 2000 lumen nonsense, you basically eliminate all this. Anything under the 2000 range, you can't run. So those Panasonics that run at 1500 lumens, 1600 lumens, you can't run any of those. You eliminate it for any of the Pico projectors. That's all gone from the door. And then to do a demonstration, say, hey, we do run on it. Oh, why didn't you put that on to begin with? You can't just change specifications. Oh, forget it. I ain't going down that road. I ain't got time for it. Life is too short. Just reminding myself, like, Ken, you're going down that road again. Life is too short. We got things to do. Okay. This is WXGA. Woo, that's pretty good. 1920 by 1200. You get those on venues, will have those on there. 1920 by 1200. That is freaking good. I want to be 100% sure on this. I don't know, I'm a little bit like there's a pocket projector with that. It really has it on there. I gotta find out. This is the reason why I like using Projector Central, because again, sometimes people put, I'm not saying he's doing it, but just want to make sure that he's not doing it. He could be putting things on there that are not true, because that's a lot of power for which maybe 600 lumens is good, but wow, that's pretty impressive. Let's see, Projector Central, there we go. So take this up. They got it. No? Pretty sure they got in there. Now, see, this is the problem I have with some of these knockoff projectors I bump into, because when I come here, we can't even find your specifications. Should be to find your specifications. There it is right there. Because these are name brand projectors anyway, but oh man, are you kidding me? I wonder if this thing does. Oh, they're not joking. It does do this. What the freak? This is beautiful. Huh. Interesting. FLE, the TV technology can pick up on extremely low lumen projectors. This would be a perfect projector. This is under 1,000 lumens. This would be fun. So what do we have here? Let's blow up so you guys can see this a little better. All right, we got 600 lumens. So the merchant was telling the truth. 600 lumens, 1920 by 1080. He said 19. He said 1920 by. Oh, what did he say? I kind of got that mixed up right there. 1920 by. He was off. He said it was 1920 by 1200. So it's not 1920 by 1200, but still, that's still good. Hold on for a minute. There we go. That's what he said. WXGA. WXGA. That wouldn't be WXGA. That would be at 1920 by 1200. Would be WXGA. Yes, but if you're going to 1920 by 1080, that's not WXGA. Let me see. But it still doesn't make a difference. It's still freaking good. Let me see. We got 10,000 to 1 contrast right here, which for us, we don't care because we don't use it. We don't need it. Our screens automatically have infinity, so that's good. 8-bit processor, all that stuff on there. LED. It's LED. 30,000 lamp hours. It's a question. What do the lamps look like on this thing? Now I got to dig that up. Now I'm curious what the lamps look like. Distance throw, see, fixed focus. So basically, it doesn't have an optical lens or lens shift. It doesn't have that at all. Period. Those are number lens shift is. That's when you set your projector. You can move your screen anywhere you want it, without basically moving the projector. Vertical. Wait. How much power is this thing using? Because we run these through battery units. So we have. Let me see. Projectors with no power. 66 watts. That's not bad at all. 2-hour battery. Yes, that's what I was looking for. See if it had a 2-hour battery, which means it's self-chargeable. Well, not self-chargeable. You can charge it up and you get 2 hours. We get 2 hours on these units over here. So this means if I basically don't have anything to run it through, you know, I basically just I can charge it up. But I carry these on me. These are my battery banks. So my battery banks would charge that up in no time at all. Perfect. I love it. Perfect. Let me see. There's an HDMI port. All this stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Everything I needed. Oh, boy. I need one of these. What do we got here for the distance? Let me see. Distance calculator. Distance calculator. Let's see. 16.9. Well, 16, yeah, 16.9 would be, let's see, at 6 feet, 6 feet, so that's the max. I would have it at, because our screen is going to be 60 inches for our portables. So our portables will be at 60 inches. 60 inches, 5 feet, 2 inches from the screen for that, for the 60-inch portable, and the other one is 50. These are screens already, we buy these screens already, they're already made. They pull out these little compartments. Let's see. It's like a screen that pulls out. But you've seen it before, the portable. We're going to be coding those. These are for our portable setups. 50 inches. 50 inches is a pretty good size screen. 4 inches. 4 feet, 4 inches from the screen. I don't even make ultra short though pico projectors. That'd be pretty hot. I would love companies out there listening. Make an ultra short though pico projector. You'd be surprised how fast that thing will sell. Oh wait, they do have one. Sony has one, but they're impossible to get. I'm sorry, it's because Japan to get those things. They do have one. But yeah, but I haven't seen any ones after that in all period. So let me give you a little blow up on that so you can see that, because you're pretty sure like, what the frick is he talking about over there? I can't see a thing. Blow the screen up. Blow the screen. I have gone through that so many times on camera. I do apologize. Screaming at the screen like, blow the screen up, I can't see it. So basically, you have at 4 feet 4 inches from the screen, this is how you measure your screen. Your screen is measured this way. This is the length of your screen, this is the height of your screen, and this right here at the bottom basically shows how far your screen would have to be up in order to hit this. Of course, and keep in mind, hold on, if we're going to mount it, can we mount it to a ceiling? Let me see. Ooh, that may be it. Well, you can't mount it to a ceiling. There's actually some you can actually mount. Oh, you can mount it to a ceiling. Yes, you can. All right, there we go. So mount it to a ceiling. So if you mount it to the ceiling, how far does the screen have to be from the floor? It has to be 44 inches from the floor in order to hit the screen. Unless you have lens shift. If you have lens shift, you don't need any of this at all, period. You can put the screen anywhere you want, go over to your lens shift and just readjust your screen where you want it to go. That's the beautiful thing about lens shift. But when you're dealing with a projector without lens shift, this section right here, you're going to have to know. You have to know exactly how many inches from the floor does the screen have to be up in order to make contact with the projector. Now, once you tilt your projector, lock it in place, and you put your lens shift in, and you're good. No, sorry, not lens shift, keystone. Other than that, if you got lens shift, man, you could just over here, like my Chrissy LW505, I could stick that thing anywhere, and that thing, whoop, boom, right on the screen with no problem. That's what I love about that projector. Lamps are cheap. Lamps are cheap. They're like $65. They're cheap. The projector is about 500 bucks, under under 500 bucks. So yeah, so this would be your height of your screen right here. And then you go in here, and this is where you get your aspect ratio. Now, if you're doing something, well, your screen size is right there, your distance. This is where Wake came up and said, well, he's not even putting in the brightness gain. We don't need this. We got FLE technology. I got advanced ambient light projection technology. We don't need this crap in here. This doesn't even basically what I need this for. Honestly, no, we're good. Trust me. If I can watch screens off ceilings and outside and through windows with sunlight pushing through, I don't think this is going to do us a world of good. What gain do we have on here? Be every screen. Oh, really? That's the highest the gain goes on here? Hold on for a minute. Check this out. Retested screens with 0.9. Let me see right here. We have 3 and 3.1. We beyond that 3.2. 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7. Oh, way beyond that. Got to go a little higher than that. A tested screen's much higher than that. Okay. 4.1, way beyond that. Yeah, way beyond screens beyond that. We got to go higher than that. We got over here, we got 5.2, 5.3, way beyond that. I tested certified gunmetal screens, so they range in between 0.8 and 0.9. That's what we're used to testing against, and they're way higher than this right here. So we're not in this range either. So the highest is really 7.1, 2, 3. We have, what's the highest on 8? Yeah, it would be 8. Yeah. You got a 9 in here. Gotta have a 9 in here. 9. 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, 9.4, 0.5, 6, 7, 8, well, 10. That's it. The highest is 10. And any screen that I've seen so far with a 0.9 gain, which is the highest I've seen so far, they've been in ambient light controlled environments. So what are you doing in an ambient light controlled environment with a gain literally that high on your screen? You should never ever be in an environment that dark. So the fact that we can't find any demonstrations where we're finding projection screens that can produce star fields off a ceiling, that means the gain on that technology would have to be much higher than that. And with FLE technology, with the ability to absorb 100,000 lux of light, this is nowhere near close to anything that we develop. A 10 couldn't come close to that. There's no right. We had to pick up special meters that basically can be used outside in the sun. So yeah, good luck with all that. This doesn't. This is not for us. Let me see. Yeah, I see screens with the 0.9 gain, and they're like, what was it? The matter of fact, in the Expo, they had the, where is it at? Where's this screen at right here for the Expo? Let me see. I got the name of this, so now I know exactly what projector I'm using for that one. I'm gonna go back and look at this video real quick. But yeah, for the expos I watch tons of demonstrations on certified screens, and every single one of them are in ambient light controlled environment. So no, we don't go by that 0.9, and 10 is supposed to be the highest. Oh, I would love to see what that screen does. Here's the Kimi. Man, that's a good projector too. It's bright too. 600 lumens. 600 lumens. We're on 50 over here. For the movie test. That's 600 lumens. I sat there and said on camera, if we want, we could run at 600 and lower. Our technology can pick up on that. Which is also, too, another thing, too, that that individual is going to have a problem with the $10 million lawsuit is the fact that how in the world did a 3,000 lumen ultra short throw, as you claim that's our product, not pick up on our screen when we do them at 650 lumens easily? And he's gonna have a struggle. He's gonna have it's gonna be open and shut, but he's gonna have a struggle in there. He's probably not even gonna show up like that, but he's gonna have a struggle in there. Oh well, that's why you don't say things you can't back up. It'll get you in a lot of trouble. 600 lumens. I'm glad I got that projector. I'm gonna go get me one of these suckers. Let me see. I'm gonna look at 10. Who has a? I'm curious. Is there a 10 out there? Who has a 10 gain on the screen? Let me see. Gain. Look at that. Gain. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you one thing. If it's a gray screen, it doesn't have a gain of 10. Because the only screens I've seen that have the 0.9 and 0.8 are screens are gunmetal, very dark screens. There's no gray screen could possess that at all, period. Not even possible. They wash out too quick. Just because your screen has a high gain really doesn't really mean anything, because again, you're still going to have to show your screen an extremely high stress level, and it's going to have to maintain without any fault. That's what the maxo zones were fantastic. Outside demonstrations are for. I've seen people do demonstrations, go, look, my screen is max. It doesn't mean jack. Because I can take a white screen and I can max out in a fully lit environment. That doesn't mean jack at the end of the day. Guess what? That white screen can't see color or contrast. It's washed out. You still have to maintain perfect color and contrast and white levels in that environment in a max out zone. Keep in mind, while you're doing this, you have to do this on low entry level projector, which means your projector's lumen count has to be low. So that way the screen has to fight even harder. This is why we have the 1,000 lumen test. And you have to do this against other screens, not on a standalone. Certified screens, white screens, other dark, gray paints, black paints, all that stuff has to be done. So if your screen has a look to it like this, like it has some kind of a ash to it, you're going to have problems. Now look at this right here. See, this is a white wall. Let me bring this up a little bit for you guys can see it's a little better. There we go. That's better. Now, see that? And they don't have much light in here. They should have more light than this. Now, the problem I see with this right here, it's not a black screen, which means I told you, when it's showing demonstrations and fully lit environments, they will stick to a lot of bright colors. Put contrast on it, the screen wouldn't exist. You still have to pick up the infinity black level. See the color of the screen? So that screen, if you were to pull a star field, anything dark, any contrast, it would wash out. Colors would pick up. It's gray. Gray screens don't function. Let me see what we got what's going on here. But that's much better. Gray screen is much better than a white screen, but still, either way, you're still getting cheated. Let me see. I'm looking for that 10 gain. It said the 10 gain. Like, what screen's carrying the 10 gain? Because I've never seen one. This is why we don't use gain anymore. We use, on our section, this is what we use. Now, we named our own game. Someone said, well, you can't. Yes, we can. You can name any. If you have the ability to prove it, you can name it whatever you want. Whatchamacallit did it. Elite Screens, ceiling light rejection technology. I've tested it. I've had it here. It works. It's exactly what it says it does. It doesn't compare to our technology, but it does do what it says it's supposed to do. I've had them over here for testing, and they work. So they got a right to call it that because they can back it up. But you can't make a gain and you have no way to support it. Then it's a lie. Like range gain, that's crap. That's not, it didn't even exist. No point in going down that road because we've been there already before. It doesn't exist at all, period. Now we have ADV. This is advanced ambient light rejection. You see all these demonstrations popping up, giant, massive 250-inch screens outside. You have to back that up. You can't just be coming out here making stuff up off the top of your head like we got some kind of gain. It worked. No, you have to show it actually freaking works. Where are your test demonstrations? That's a 250-inch gaming screen outside. We got the technology right here on the porch, outside on the deck, with the lights making contact with the screen at 150 inches. That's why we can make that statement. That's why I don't sit there and go, well, you know, we're not under that gain range yet. The whole 2.0, we're not in that field. So no, that's black technology, by the way, as always. Advanced ambient light rejection 39, fully lit environment. In the max out zone. On wallpaper. Is that wallpaper? It is wallpaper. Ceiling rejection technology. On a ceiling, look. Boom. Come on now. Let's get real here. If you're going to make statements that you have a product that you claim that's supposed to be a new form of gain, you have to back this up. No better way to back up a technology. Now, mind you, keep in mind that most screens are plagued by ceilings. The minute you turn your ceiling lights on, your screen washes out. Our screen is on the ceiling. We literally painted the screen around a ceiling light. On a projector that's sitting, my ceiling's in this environment around almost about 9 feet high. So my projector sits on the floor at 720p. See how bright that image looks? So that light's not even affecting the screen in any way whatsoever. When you could do stuff like that, I'm talking to the naysayers, when you could do stuff like this, then you can go around, you can make your own gain at the end of the day. But you have to back this up. Can't have videos go into other videos that have nothing to do with what you're talking about. See how the menu pops up so I can change anything I want right there? I can literally sit there and read a book. I can watch that screen at the same time and look at that screen over top. You should be able to do that if you have a proper gain. This is why we don't consider ourselves in the field of that whole 0.1, 0.3, 0. No, we're not in that field. Look, I can make the ceiling snow if I want. That's what I said. You only way you can be able to, you have to back that up. So when I go to form sites and we mention our gain, they say, well, how do you know you have this? I said, look, our technology does stuff that other screens can't do. Show me a demonstration that can beat this. No one has anything for us. So you got most screens that are in ambient light controlled environments, and they're in there trying to keep the ceiling light from washing out the screen. And our ceiling at 180 inches is the screen. There you go. When you can do stuff like that, then you can go around and make your gain. So the very ceiling that people can't have, lights can't have on, that'll wash out their screen, that's not even on the ceiling, our screen's on the ceiling. Customers using ambient light rejection technology. Outside. Watching fish. Gotta be able to show it off. Gotta be able to do it. Oh, it's demonstration on site. In a commercial environment. Walking around with a $178 ultra short throw projector. Which means I don't even have to be here. I can go someplace else, which I'm doing this summer. I'm gonna be bouncing all different and out of different environments just like that with no problem. And that's a black series right there. So that means, that tells anybody with an office, guess what? Instead of you having some washed out white screen up there or some poor gray screen sitting up there and your projector and images are all washed out and you got to get Jenny to go over and turn on all the lights because you can't do your presentation. So that means in order for them to read what's on the documentation, which they can't do because the lights are out because the screen won't work. There you go. That technology will run a fully lit environment with no problem whatsoever and no expensive projectors required. First thing we did when we painted that thing to a wall, people were walking up to the wall and they were laying flat against the wall and they were staring at it. They wanted to see if they could still see the screen. And it was like, wow, that's crazy. 100% infinity contrast levels, which means it's going to make your presentation look absolutely gorgeous. And presentations are everything, especially when you're trying to get that promotion. You want to make sure that you get your point across and you make sure you do it vividly. It looks absolutely amazing as you're doing this. And you can do that with that technology. There'd be no such thing as, oh, can somebody hit the lights, please? That doesn't exist with our technology. See, I'll lean all the way to the side and you can still pick it up. And that's on a $178 projector. That's what I was doing in that building. I was walking around recording stuff. Can't make those statements unless you can basically back it up. Certified screen test versus our advanced ambient light rejection technology right there. Those are all the big boys up there. All the big certified screens. These screens up here have 0.8 and 0.9 gains attached to them. As I said before, you're still in a very well lit environment. Not only are you going to have to be able to maintain your contrast and color and white levels, you have to do all that in a fully lit environment without the screen washing out or fading. They can't read in that environment. So nice little fish moving back and forth. I'm not picking it up. Let's take the lights out and let's drop it. I had some people talking about, well, yeah, you're still going to have light. You have light when you're in a dark environment. Unless you're sitting in the middle of a black hole somewhere. That's the only way. Now, see how we show those white levels first? Always show the white levels first. Because that gives me an understanding on what I'm doing, what I'm dealing with. This is why I show white levels first on the screen. This is how I can tell if your screens will work on it, or if it'll work, or you'll give us a challenge or won't. So if your screen comes out like this, and ours comes out this tone, that means your screen is automatically going to fail. See? Automatically from the door. I already know it. That's why I asked for the white screen first. I don't ask for the white screen to see who shows the highest white level. There's something I'm looking for in their screen. There's a tone that I need to see. If that screen comes up that bright, I'm like, oh shoot, they're going to fail automatically from the door. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 certified screens rated in the range from anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000. And that technology took it out. In the dark, which means even in the dark, your screen wouldn't survive against one of our technologies. Dark won't save you. That's the last place you want to be with one of our screens. If our screens look that incredible with the lights on, imagine what they look like in a dark environment. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So if you're barely making it against that screen in a fully lit environment, wait till the lights go out. See what that technology does to you. It'll turn a certified into a white sheet of paper. There are times I did them, and Freddie certified, and the gonna sit and say that's not true. I've done demonstrations with white sheets of paper right next to screens. You couldn't tell which one was which. Our screens are designed to do the job. That's what I love about our technology. And my 50 lumen projector. I love my 50 lumen projector. I'm gonna get that Cumi. 600 lumens. We get 50 lumens to run on this, man. 600 is gonna be a cakewalk, man. This is going to be fantastic for our portable projection setups. I can't wait to get that set up. I want everything to be to fit inside of a bag. Like we'll have our own bag with our logos on it, and we'll have the projector, because it's going to come in a bag. It's going to come in a bag, and put the projector and all that stuff in there. Oh shoot! Did I pause this? I did, didn't I? Cartoon Network. What I like about this, my desk projection screen, is that when I'm working, go down and get myself something to eat, I can sit there and watch TV on my desk and basically work at the same time that I go. Feel like you watch cartoons? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I watch cartoons. I love cartoons. I don't even watch cartoons without cereal. I can't do that. That's like playing Candyland without having candy. I don't know how people do it. So if you're making me Jonas for candy. See? White levels? Oh, heck yeah. Hey, where's my Cartoon Network? Alexis, Cartoon Network. I asked you the theory of Cartoon Network. You're doing too much today. Where are you at? Ugh. Alexis is doing bad things. All right. She's being bad. So that means the screens we have in there, as I said before, the highest ones we have in there, 0.8, 0.9. We're in a dark environment. Our screens are coming up brighter. They're maintaining better images, maintaining better color, white levels, and 100% infinity contrast. We have tons of these tests. That's when Wake sat there and said, oh, dozens and dozens of videos. You're supposed to have dozens and dozens of videos. They're called tests. That's what they're called. Let me get this straight. So you went to school, you did no testing whatsoever, and you graduated? Huh? That's what homework is. This is what this is called. It's called homework. Tons and tons of homework. Guess what? Go to college. Homework. Everywhere you go is homework. You go to job, you get to work, you got to work on a project. Guess what? You got to do a ton of research. Research is literally homework. So you mean to tell me that the reason why you don't have dozens and dozens of videos because you didn't run it? Well, I guess it shows. It definitely shows why you didn't do any tests. That's what it's called. When you call it research, you can call it whatever you want to call it in the day. At the end of the day, it's still homework. You have to do tests. This is why we have tons of videos, because again, you have to test your stuff. And that way you don't have to worry about removing entire states. Well, he didn't remove an entire state. The other guy removed an entire state. That's really sad. I'm going to tell you something right there. I didn't talk much about that, but that is pretty sad. I mean, I'm trying to keep this Christian 100%, but it is what it is. He removed an entire state. How terrified do you have to be of a product? Matter of fact, even worse than that, how badly do you have no faith in your own product that you removed an entire state? I couldn't even imagine doing that. Like literally scared of someone placing an order and remove an entire state. Let me explain something to these individuals at the end of the day. Do not make a video telling me, oh, bought my stuff. No, we're done. We're done. You had your opportunity. We're moving on. We got things to do. No one's going back to your website ever again. We're not even bothering with you anymore. We'll see you in court as we're supposed to do, with everything else. I mean, that's all going through. But other than that, we're not entertaining that anymore. Anytime somebody goes that far, I mean, I thought it was sad enough that basically you were put our money back in our account so fast that we used the same $160 to pay for all this stuff. But then to move this whole entire shopping cart and websites going missing and all that stuff, and then to remove an entire state. Wow. That's why I said in the home theater community, these guys are not considered to be real deals. They're considered to be jokes. Back nothing up. And I mean nothing. An entire state, really. Quite frankly, I'm kind of happy you did it. You know why? I knew your stuff wasn't going to work anyway. After what I've seen already in your own demonstrations, we knew it wasn't going to work anyway. I didn't want to paint that screen in. I really didn't want to waste my time painting that screen in. Gee whiz Louise. Didn't want to paint that in. I sat there and said on camera, like, I really got to paint this thing in. See my windows open here? This is my other place. Way back when I was living at the house. Windows open. You're using ultra short throw projector. Why are y'all environments where your windows are not open? I don't know why. I see it all the time. In ultra short throw demonstrations, this projector is sitting right on top of the screen. You're kissing the screen. What's the problem? Oh my goodness, this one guy I was talking to in one of the forum sites, he had the window shut all the way down and the environment was completely dark. And he goes, look, I got the window open. No, buddy, we had this conversation. You do not have the window open. Elite screens, when they sat there and said, oh, our blinds are open. I can't even see objects out your window, like literally. And you have a screen here, windows here, so the light's going to go this way and turn to hit the screen? No. The window light is going to have to be in the back where it can make contact with the screen. And again, for those of you who have windows in the back, guess what else? The environment around your screen is not supposed to be like a solar eclipse went off in there. It's supposed to show everything. You're supposed to see every detail of everything, even your baseboards, to show that the areas the light is making contact with the screen. Ugh. You hear the frustration in my voice, people. You hear the frustration in my voice because you're not supposed to be in a dark environment with an ultra short throw. That's why it's not designed for that. You're abusing your technology. You know that, right? Can't do it outside. Can't do it inside. Can't do it inside. Can't do it outside. That's how it works. Look at the lights on. We got the windows open. And I can sit there and watch TV in a fully lit environment. I can see me at the shows right now walking past people's screen. You disgust me. Yes, this is on site, showing a snowstorm. Oh, this will be used in court, by the way. There's a couple of videos that got pulled for court. I plan to do that in the courtroom too. Oh, heck yeah, I'm going to paint that up in the courtroom. Yeah. You know I get my adrenaline, all my drums going through the roof right now. Calm down, bird. Calm down. I get this way. I love to do testing. I love challenges. I do my challenges at the end of the day. If I sit there and tell you at the end of the day that gray paint is going to match our product, guess what? I'm doing a demonstration also. You think I'm going to miss out on that kind of opportunity? Oh, heck no. That's why I said, y'all not built for it. Y'all are not built for this industry. You're not built for it. Y'all cut too many corners. Y'all afraid to make mistakes. Y'all walk on freaking eggshells all day long. That's what happens. If you don't really test your product and you're faking it all the way through, someone's going to find out. They're going to find out. And it's going to get out there and it's not going to go well for you. Like them freaking Teslas. My buddy right now is ranting like crazy. He has one. He spent $50,000 for this vehicle. He is ranting like crazy over this car. Upset. He had to get it towed. See how embarrassing that is that you spent all this money for an electric car and a gas vehicle is towing your car because it doesn't move, he's upset. He's getting rid of it too, by the way. He's going to get a gas vehicle. He's going to go pick up a Hellcat. Yep. He's upset. He is ticked. Wonder how that return policy is going to work out right there altogether. So I don't even know how that's going to work out for him. But yeah, he's done. He is done. I understand the intentions were good and all. I mean, it is, but I still can't believe that they didn't stick that car into a temperature-controlled chamber to see what would happen. I mean, they test snow tires like that. I mean, all kinds of stuff they test things. You ever watch how companies test their products out? If you go to IKEA, there's a section in there where there's a machine that simulates someone sitting down on a chair over and over and over again and hits the chair over and over and over. And it's a counter showing how many times this thing has actually made contact with the chair. To show these chairs are very sturdy, can take a lot of abuse. But how do you not take an electric car and stick it into a chamber and drop the temperature? I mean, you know temperature is basically screw with batteries, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. But better it happened now than imagine if they converted all the cars over to electricity. Imagine that. I mean, I'm talking about, you're talking about regular vehicles. I'm talking about tractor trailers and stuff. They carry major supplies and stuff back and forth. Can you imagine a nightmare behind that? Can you imagine it? What about airplanes? Think about the crazy stuff that could have been incorporated with this technology. Airplanes, boats, all that stuff. Can you imagine what would have happened? I don't think I'm too happy about watching a Boeing come flying out of the sky because basically it just went dead. It bricked. And that's what happened. The car is bricked. That is scary. Mind you, the heat source on that car, everything that runs off that car is through electricity, even the heat source. So you're looking at being in a vehicle 1 minute and the next minute you're inside of a freezer because the heat's not working. Nothing's working. It's a brick. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of questions about why this vehicle wasn't tested correctly. Never rush anything. Just get the job done. And we haven't learned anything from the Xbox 360 when they rushed that unit and that thing had like mountains and mountains of red rings because they wanted to get their system launched before the PS4. Outside. That's advanced ambient rejection technology outside. Customers right there. Boom. Boom. Customers outside. Advanced ambient rejection technology. Look at that. It's funny. I see my black technology here. And then look at the black technology from 8 years ago on the digital 1 crystal screen paint. No, sorry, not the digital screen. Digital 4K crystal onyx. Now we have FLE technology. This is the new stuff. This is the beast. Evolving to the next level of ambient rejection technology. So, to Mr. Solid Weight 5, let me explain something to you. When you can engineer technology like that, right? When you have those kind of blessings at your front door, you can call your ambient rejection gain anything you want. You show a screen that can absorb a contact at 100,000 lux of light. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it daffodil, sunshine, flipping unicorn, running rhinoceros, anything you want because you can back that up. I can go to a show and say, hey, we call this technology game running rhino. And you're like, what in the world is that? Well, it's designed to basically absorb sunlight. And as long as I can show that it does exactly what it does, they got to call it that. That's the thing about the Sugar Plum Fairy. You know why the Sugar Plum Fairy was developed, right? The reason why the Sugar Plum Fairy was developed because we got to a point we said, hey, look, our technology is so advanced that we can call a screen whatever we want. We don't have to give it a name like, you know, like they give them like the Cinemax XR7 or THX or something crazy like that. You know what I mean? They give it that kind of a theater kind of sound to it. We can name it something crazy. I can call it a running rhinoceros, a laughing daffodil, whatever. And that screen will come in and crush anything it touches. As long as we can back it up, we can call it whatever we want. So that's how the sugar plum was made. The sugar plum fairy was made to represent, it wasn't made as a girl screen first, it was made to represent that we could literally call the screen whatever we wanted, and we could come in and we could knock out any certified, anything we need to take out with a screen called a sugar plum fairy. There you go. So with that being said, then after a while, looking at this and developing this whole background for everything, I said, I should make this a girls' gaming screen, because girls don't have any gaming screen. The ladies don't have any gamer screen. They don't have any really thing that pretty much is theirs. It belongs to them. They have their own. I'm walking in GameStop. I'm looking around like, there's no stuff in here for ladies at all, period. Like, gee whiz, everything mostly in there is all men. So I was like, it'd be kind of cool if they had their own gaming screen. And thus, the Sugar Plum Fairy was activated. And then later on, after putting all this time into Sugar Plum Fairy, guys were coming and saying, well, what about us? How come we don't have a screen? Well, you guys do have a screen. Well, we want something under that product line. And that's where the Leviathan popped up. And then all the rest of them, I figured, well, we got two of them. Let's just make an entire product line. And that's where it started from. So they have FLE technology embedded, their front and rear technology. They can do this. Here comes the sun. Do, 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 do. Oh, I forgot about that song. It's a really good song, too. It's from back in the day. This is the front and rear technology that it has inside. Now, can you imagine you running your ultra short throw? TV technology we're working on has that capability. They all have that FLE special technology for sunlight. But can you imagine your ultra short throw set up on something at 120 inches like that in your home? Years ago, everybody was back there working on grays, and everybody was back there working on gunmetal, and we were working on black technology 8 years ago because we knew what the future was going to look like. It's funny when I said future, the other woman sitting there, little spacesuit on outside. Yeah, we were already working on it. Oh man, I can't wait. Spartan's like anyway. We're just on that Spartan. Spartan's technology is being redeveloped. We're actually going to make it powerful than what it was. Spartan technology is going to be a beast. It's going to be an actual physical screen. It is going to be gorgeous. It's going to come with a helmet because I want a helmet. That's why I'm getting a helmet. It's going to come with the helmet because I want one. I'm gonna see if I get one for Taco. Oh my goodness, a mini Spartan helmet for Taco. We can sit there and watch. We're gonna watch 300 on it. Yep. And then we got the AdTech technology. This is also too embedded with AdTech. So this allows stores to be able to advertise right on glass. So yeah, imagine if we had sprayed that FLE technology to that glass. It was called the mist at the time. Wow. Again, crazy. Absolutely crazy. That would not have went well. What time we got here? Woo! Gotta be out the door, people. I got packages to take care of. I got people to take care of at the end of the day. Got much to do. But I just want to go back and show you our past, way back in our past of under the digital and crystal screen, digital 4K crystal onyx. Because, we're going to get that. We're going to get companies going to probably try to challenge that they had it first. No. We're timestamped, baby. We've been back 8 years back. Probably a little farther than that on black technology. So, no, that's not going to work out too well for your advantage. Let me see this for a minute. You ever heard of the Supreme Exotics? They were colored screens. They were screens that came in multiple colors. That's what they were. We made them green, we had different colors. I'm looking at this one right here. I wonder if we do got a paint down on that screen. It's called a scarlet, right? It's called a scarlet. It was called a, let me see, deep red, but it was called, I think which one it was called, a scarlet exotics. I don't really want to know what's going to come up if I say this. I don't know. It's going to be weird, so bear with me. Because the screens were named exotic. We had to get rid of them because the name itself, it just brought up too much weird stuff. So that's why we dropped them and we basically engineered it into something else. Now it's engineered into FLE technology. See what I find strange about this? I just went on eBay to look at this projector and here it is popping up over here. I told you they track your activity on here. Let me see. Scarlet Exotic. Let me see. Exotic Scarlet. Exotic Scarlet. Alright. Let's see. Battery 15%. That's nothing new. I got the battery bank sorter, so we should be good. Let's see where we're at right here. What was it? A 17? It was, I think it was 17s, or were they 21s? What was down here? This is a green one, right? That came out. That's the green one. So that's a Supreme. They're AR-15s. That's what they were. They were AR-15s. Scarlet Supremes. They were AR-15s. Projection 15s. There it is, right there. This was red screen. That's why I said Jamie came to tell me, oh, I had to Scarlet first, and nobody. Stop it. Stop it. I know you need to copy us. I don't understand that. You never had a red technology ever in your day in your life. We had it was under called exotic. That's what it was. But I'm used to you guys copying us anyway. We used to people copying our technology, trying to copy our technology. That's what a Scarlet looks like. The one we have right now that's coming out is actually better than this because we have that heightener technology, and the heightener technology can allow this screen right here, no matter what color we change it, to read white. Figure that one out. Now this one's front. The new technology we have is front and rear. So, I mean, you won't be painting it on, or we'll be coating it to a surface. Well, I won't be coating it to a surface. I'm paying somebody else to do it. I got a professional painter coming in. Actually, 3 of them coming in. They're going to be doing the jobs for us. No Wagners. They got high performance paint guns that they're bringing in to do the job. Screens are going to have badges on them too. Badges, and it's a QR code, some kind of code we're going to put on it so you can basically look at it. You can watch your batch number. So that is the red screen. So I gotta get out the door. See this right here? Look at the color of it when I first showed it to you. Right here. See how it's red? So basically, we have something that we put into the screen, can't tell you what it is, but into the paint that basically allows it, even though it's red, blue, green, yellow, purple, it can read a 100% white level. This thing was really cool. Now, see how the screen has this reddish look to it? As it starts to dry, it disappears. See the section over here that's already dry? See how that's white? And it gets brighter. And then, boom, it's dry. Isn't that crazy? So we can color the paint any color we want. And with that heightener capability, it transfers white light, even if the paint is red. So that technology was under the exotics, which we got rid of it because of the name again. Okay, it just ties to too many weird stuff. But anyway, as you can see, it's picking up that white level right there for a screen at that color. And then with that shifting technology that we embedded into it, it allows the screen to be able to pick up its contrast levels. This is all the test technology we're working on right here. See, watch this. It drove them freaking crazy when they saw that. It drove them crazy. We got all kinds of hate from them from that. Oh, you think you're God? You think you can do whatever you want? Blah 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 blah. Oh my goodness, no! I serve God. That's what I do. I'm not God. I serve God. That's why we have the technology. So that technology, being red, could literally convert a high white level and read a contrast level because it has this contrast shifting technology we embedded into the screen. It also can read colors. You would think a red screen would come up with all these different tints of reds and just deep reds all across the screen. No, it could see green, it could see yellow, it could see purple, it could see all the colors. Which now, when we realize that, we have the ability to change the color of a screen. And therefore, this is the same technology, but a different version, a more higher version, incorporate into the gamer screens. They come in different colors. And they have the ability to read contrast, white levels, and they're beautiful. They're front and rear technology. Oh, man, I love what I do. Ha! Taco bubble bag time. We're about to go to the post office. We got to drop off. We got to be out today. I'm going to get myself a pizza. See? Look at this. Crazy, ain't it? God's amazing. Now, why in the world is Alexis acting like a bonehead? Work. She's not working for me. Gotta get your groove on. This is how we do it. All right, let's get you back again. Make sure you're plugged in. Gotta get your groove on. My projector is working. My fire stick, on the other hand, is not. All right, there. Look, Alexis is having a freaking meltdown over here. Alexis, YouTube. Yeah, she just refused to play. She was, man, I will fight you. Yeah, that's red technology right there. That is red technology. Screen's red. So this is what the Scarlet is. For a person who claims to have this product, you don't have it, you don't own it. That's a Scarlet. It's red. Not gray, it's red. So in order for you to understand how to make that, you would have to know how to make black technology. And you would have to have years of testing on the black technology to make a different color screen. Because what happens if you don't, the screen's going to basically have a trace of red in everything. And it's going to be like wearing red sunglasses. You ever run some red sunglasses before? You walk outside, everything has a trace of red in it. That's why. That's what will happen. You have to have the ability to be able to show white levels and contrast through a red surface. And if you can't do it through black technology, because this is where you learn it from, then you can't do it through a color screen. And this stuff has been tested on just about everything we could possibly think of to make sure it works perfectly fine. So the Scarlet Samurai is actually a deeper red than this. And it has an FLE attached to it, which means it can basically eat that sunlight, which it's designed to do. It's also front and rear too. So that has to be sprayed on. And we have to have a professional, just a few professionals coming in to spray those screens in. All right, well, people. Over here, trying to get our cartoons to work. And Alexis had a tantrum a few minutes ago, refused to work. So I can go back to my menu here. I think she needs new batteries. I have no idea. Alexis, menu, please. Oh, yeah, she's having arguments. This is why I don't trust AI technology. I really don't. It literally has a mind of its own. Alexis, are you okay?
Getting that from YouTube.
All right. Let's see if we get this to work right. Alexis, beautiful fish, 4K.
Getting that from YouTube.
You know, if you go to the menu, she does talk. Watch this. If she does switch over to the menu. I don't know why that's not working. We can't switch the menu. I got to pull the batteries, look at new batteries for this thing. See? Told you. AI is freaking... Artificial intelligence is weird. All right, we'll figure this out. I want to get her some new batteries today. Maybe that's it. She's acting very temperamental. Alexis!
Getting that from YouTube.
Told you. This is why I don't trust AI. I would never, ever wire this stuff into my house. I would never do that. You have lost your freaking mind. This stuff doesn't work right half the time. Never would do that. Voice activated, it's a nightmare. It's been activated since... You ever had Dragon voice communicators for your PC? Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Alexis.
Getting that from YouTube.
Yeah, she's acting buggy. And it's not the projector. The projector's working perfectly fine. You want to have some fun? Go over to your friend's house who has the Alexa system hooked up to the lights and go 00110011100110 and see what happens. It's called a binary code. It wakes up the machine. You'll figure it out. Just go online and look it up. It's called binary codes. But if you say it actually into voice activated systems, they stop working. They stop functioning. They don't work at all, period. As they call waking up the machine. Yeah, try it. It's funny. I'm not doing it on here because I need my system to work. But yeah, go in there and say that binary code and see what happens. All right, people. Got to go. Thank you all, and God bless. I'm already at 001.